When you think of Toyota, you probably think of reliable cars that last forever. But even the most trusted brands can have their missteps. In 2025, some Toyotas are practically worthless, cars you would not want even if they were free. Today, we are counting down 10 Toyota models that have completely lost their value. Let us dive right in. Toyota Solara Convertible. When the 2006 Toyota Solara Convertible hit the market, it was presented as Toyota's sporty, stylish alternative to the conservative Camry. Aimed at a younger, more dynamic audience, it promised a mix of power and elegance, while keeping Toyota's reliable reputation intact. It was ideal for those seeking the practicality of a sedan with the flair of a drop-top. The Solara came equipped with a 3.3-liter V6 engine, producing 225 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 5-speed automatic transmission, it offered a smooth and moderately spirited driving experience. In the mid-2000s, these specs were impressive for a convertible, appealing to those who wanted both comfort and a hint of excitement. The interior featured leather upholstery, faux wood accents, and a spacious cabin, making it more comfortable than other convertibles in its class. One of the Solara's strongest points was its balance of style and practicality. Unlike many cramped convertibles, it provided decent rear passenger space and a usable trunk, even with the top down. This made it versatile for daily commuting and weekend getaways alike. Toyota's reputation for longevity also attracted buyers looking for a reliable, long-lasting vehicle. Fast forward to 2025, and the Solara's charm has significantly faded. The once stylish exterior now appears outdated, and the soft top has become a major liability. As these cars age, the tops often develop leaks, leading to water damage and musty interiors. Replacing the soft top can be costly, sometimes exceeding the car's current value. Additionally, the ride quality feels rough, as worn suspension components struggle to handle road imperfections. Technologically, the Solara is stuck in the past. The once satisfactory sound system, with its multi-disc CD changer and basic climate controls, now seems archaic compared to modern touchscreens and smartphone integration. There's no Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, or Android Auto, just a dashboard cluttered with outdated plastic buttons. Performance has also declined. The once reliable engine now shows signs of wear, including oil leaks, and the transmission that used to shift smoothly now hesitates. Steering feels loose, and handling that once seemed competent now feels vague and unresponsive. If the Solara's attempt to mix fun and function seemed misguided, wait until you see Toyota's next rugged experiment, Toyota Highlander Hybrid. Promising to transform the sport utility vehicle market, the Toyota Highlander Hybrid emerged as a game-changing blend of family-friendly practicality and hybrid fuel efficiency. Toyota positioned it as the perfect balance of spaciousness and eco-consciousness, appealing to families eager to save on fuel without giving up comfort. The Highlander Hybrid was powered by a 3.5-liter V6 engine paired with an electric motor, delivering a combined 270 horsepower and 248 pound-feet of torque. Mated to a 5-speed electronically controlled automatic transmission, it provided a smooth and efficient ride. Back in 2008, these specs were impressive for a hybrid sport utility vehicle, giving it an edge in the segment. Toyota's hybrid Synergy drive system boasted around 27 miles per gallon in the city and 25 on the highway, exceptional fuel efficiency for a mid-size sport utility vehicle at the time. Inside, the Highlander Hybrid prioritized comfort and space. It featured 3-row seating for up to 7 passengers, with a versatile second row that could slide to make room for the third row. The dashboard, though basic by today's standards, was user-friendly, including a central display to monitor hybrid performance. Toyota's dedication to safety was also evident, with features like anti-lock brakes, stability control, and multiple airbags, reassuring families of its safety credentials. However, in 2025, the reality of owning a 2008 Highlander Hybrid is far from the original promise. The most pressing issue is the hybrid battery. Originally designed for longevity, many of these batteries have either failed or are near failure. Replacing one can cost over $4,000, often more than the vehicle's current value. As a result, many owners abandon repairs or sell the car for parts. Fuel efficiency, once a strong point, now falls behind modern hybrids that exceed 35 miles per gallon. The once smooth ride now feels cumbersome, with worn suspension components making the driving experience uncomfortable. The steering feels vague, and the handling lacks the precision expected from modern sport utility vehicles. If you think the Highlander hybrid's fall from grace is surprising, just wait until you see Toyota's next failed attempt at rugged appeal. If you love deep dives into automotive history and breakdowns like this, hit that subscribe button. We're uncovering the forgotten and the failed. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Toyota Matrix. When the 2003 Toyota Matrix first appeared on the market, it was Toyota's attempt to inject some youthful energy into the otherwise conservative Corolla lineup. Designed as a compact hatchback with a sporty attitude, the Matrix aimed to capture the attention of younger drivers looking for a car that was both practical and a bit adventurous. The combination of versatility, decent performance, and affordable pricing made it an appealing choice for students, young professionals, and small families. One of the key attractions was its distinctive styling. The Matrix featured a compact yet aggressive look, with sharp lines and a sloping roofline that gave it a sporty stance. The model came with two engine options, a 1.8-liter inline four-cylinder engine in the base model, and a slightly more powerful version in the XRS trim. The latter offered all-wheel drive, making it somewhat unique among compact hatchbacks of its time. The XRS trim, in particular, added a hint of performance with its 6-speed manual transmission and more responsive handling. Inside, the Matrix was surprisingly spacious given its compact footprint. The hatchback design allowed for ample cargo space, and the rear seats could fold flat, offering considerable flexibility for carrying gear, luggage, or even small furniture. The interior design was relatively simple but functional, with an elevated seating position that offered good visibility. For many, the Matrix struck the right balance between a practical daily driver and a vehicle with enough flair to avoid being labeled as boring. However, in 2025, the Toyota Matrix has lost its appeal. The youthful design that once set it apart now looks dated and uninspired. The angular lines and hatchback shape that were once modern now seem awkward and unrefined compared to today's sleek crossovers. The interior, once praised for its practicality, has not aged well. Cracked plastics, faded fabrics, and worn-out control panels make the cabin feel tired and neglected. Mechanically, many Matrix models still on the road today are struggling to keep up. High-mileage units often suffer from engine misfires, worn suspension components, and transmission issues, particularly in the higher-performance XRS variants. What once felt peppy and agile now feels sluggish and noisy, as the years of hard use have taken their toll on both performance and comfort. The Matrix tried to be hip, but it's nothing compared to Toyota's take on a budget sedan. Toyota Yaris sedan. Considered a practical and economical choice for city dwellers, the Toyota Yaris sedan quickly gained a reputation as a reliable, no-frills commuter car. Marketed as the quintessential budget-friendly sedan, it offered a lightweight build and impressive fuel efficiency. Toyota aimed to attract young professionals and first-time car buyers who needed an affordable and easy-to-maintain vehicle. At its core, the Yaris was about simplicity. Its 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine, producing 106 horsepower and 103 pound-feet of torque, was never designed to impress performance enthusiasts, but rather to offer consistent, fuel-efficient operation. Many drivers appreciated that it was easy to maintain, with affordable parts and relatively low repair costs. Additionally, the Yaris was seen as an ideal starter car due to its straightforward mechanical layout and basic safety features. However, fast forward to 2025, and the 2007 Toyota Yaris sedan has become a car stuck in the past. Despite its once appealing simplicity, it is now considered painfully outdated, especially compared to modern compact sedans. The primary issue lies in its incredibly basic features, or rather, the lack thereof. The base model of the Yaris sedan came with manual crank windows, a feature that now feels ancient, and no anti-lock braking system. Even then, many saw this as a cost-cutting measure, but today it simply feels inconvenient and unsafe. The interior is perhaps the most telling sign of the car's age. The seats are basic and offer minimal support, and the cabin materials feel cheap and plasticky. It is also one of the noisier compact cars on the road, with a cabin that sounds more like a rattlebox than a cozy space for daily commutes. Every bump and pothole is felt, and the lack of sound insulation means that engine noise and road vibrations constantly intrude on the cabin space. Performance-wise, the Yaris sedan lags far behind modern competitors. The 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine that once seemed adequate now feels painfully underpowered. Accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour feels like an eternity, and merging onto highways requires careful planning. Even by compact car standards, the Yaris struggles to keep up with traffic, and the engine's strained hum only adds to the underwhelming driving experience. From one lightweight disaster to another, this next Toyota couldn't survive the test of time either. Toyota Echo. Toyota's answer to budget-conscious young drivers and city commuters arrived in 2001 with the debut of the Echo. Marketed as a practical, no-frills option, the Echo embraced a minimalist design, compact, fuel-efficient, and, most importantly, affordable. It attracted those who needed a simple vehicle to get from point A to point B without breaking the bank. The Echo's 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine delivered just over 100 horsepower, which, at the time, was considered sufficient for urban driving. The Echo's design philosophy was purely utilitarian. It did not aim to impress. Instead, it prioritized basic functionality. Its small footprint made it easy to park in tight spaces, and its lightweight structure contributed to fuel efficiency. Toyota's reputation for reliability also meant that buyers expected this car to last for years without major issues. Inside, the Echo's dashboard was unconventional, featuring a centrally mounted speedometer, which was touted as innovative but ultimately proved to be more quirky than practical. However, in 2025, the Echo's charm has completely worn off. The minimalist approach that once seemed practical now feels overwhelmingly outdated and borderline ridiculous. The awkward, tall, and narrow body design makes the car look out of place next to modern compact vehicles. Its simplistic aesthetic now resembles something from a bygone era of automotive design, almost as if someone hit the zoom out button on a standard sedan. The real downfall of the Echo lies in its interior quality. The cabin materials are extremely cheap and prone to wear, and the lack of power windows or power locks feels almost comedic by modern standards. The seats lack cushioning and support, and the cabin layout lacks any semblance of modern ergonomics. The engine itself, while reliable, struggles to perform even basic highway tasks, and the car's suspension makes every road imperfection feel like a major obstacle. Technology-wise, the Echo is entirely devoid of features that have become standard in modern cars. There is no touchscreen, no smartphone integration, and not even a basic auxiliary port. The stereo system, if still functioning, sounds tinny and weak, and the cabin noise rivals that of a power generator. Even though it is lightweight, the Echo feels sluggish, with the engine whining whenever you attempt to accelerate. If the Echo's tiny stature wasn't enough of a letdown, this next Toyota went big, but failed even harder. Toyota Sequoia. In the early 2000s, Toyota took a bold step by entering the full-size sport utility vehicle market with the Sequoia. It marked a departure from Toyota's usual lineup of compact and mid-size vehicles, aiming to challenge American stalwarts like the Ford Expedition and Chevrolet Tahoe. Built on the Tundra pickup truck platform, the Sequoia was a formidable presence, blending rugged utility with Toyota's renowned reliability. It featured a powerful 4.7-liter I-Force V8 engine, producing 240 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque, making it a top choice for families needing to tow boats, trailers, or transport hefty cargo loads. The Sequoia's size was undoubtedly impressive. With 3 rows of seating, it comfortably accommodated up to 8 passengers, making it ideal for large families and road trips. The spacious interior offered generous legroom and headroom, while the versatile cargo area could handle everything from groceries to camping gear. For those craving off-road capabilities, the 4-wheel drive version added a layer of versatility, enabling the Sequoia to tackle rugged terrains confidently. Features like power windows, power locks, and an optional premium sound system made it feel almost luxurious. However, by 2025, the Sequoia's appeal has waned significantly. One of its biggest flaws today is the abysmal fuel economy. In an era of skyrocketing gas prices, averaging just 13 miles per gallon in the city and 17 on the highway feels financially draining. Filling the large fuel tank feels like taking out a small loan, and owners often find themselves spending far more at the pump than anticipated. Another major drawback is its outdated design. What was once seen as a modern marvel now appears bulky and awkward. The lack of modern tech features makes it feel like a relic rather than a reliable family vehicle. The dashboard, cluttered with buttons and knobs, feels more suited to a 2001 model year than the sleek digital setups in modern sport utility vehicles. Maintenance has also become a challenge. The once robust V8 engine now frequently requires costly repairs, from oil leaks to transmission issues. As parts become scarce, repairs are increasingly expensive and time-consuming. Owners often question whether keeping the vehicle is worth the hassle, as maintenance bills pile up. While the Sequoia is hard to fill, the next Toyota struggles just to get you where you are going. Toyota Prius Gen 3. Hailed as a game-changer in the automotive world, the third-generation Toyota Prius cemented Toyota's status as the leader in hybrid technology. Synonymous with environmental consciousness and affordability, the Prius offered drivers a way to reduce their carbon footprint without sacrificing practicality. This model featured a 1.8-liter inline four-cylinder engine paired with an electric motor, producing a combined 134 horsepower. It was celebrated for its impressive fuel economy, boasting 50 miles per gallon in the city and 48 miles per gallon on the highway. Inside, the Prius offered a futuristic cabin design, complete with a compact digital display that showcased fuel efficiency stats, battery levels, and a quirky joystick-style gear shifter. The hatchback design also made it practical for urban driving, with ample cargo space for groceries and weekend getaways. Its aerodynamic shape and lightweight construction contributed to its fuel efficiency, and for eco-conscious consumers, the Prius was the embodiment of responsible driving. However, fast forward to 2025, and the Gen 3 Prius is no longer the icon it once was. The biggest issue lies in its hybrid battery. As these cars age, battery degradation becomes a major concern. Many Gen 3 Priuses are now on their second or even third battery replacement, and the cost of replacing a hybrid battery can exceed the car's market value, considering that most used Priuses are priced at just a few $1,000s. Spending upwards of $3,000 on a battery alone seems irrational. The technology that once made it innovative is now outdated. The touchscreen is small and unresponsive. The navigation system is laughably obsolete, and Bluetooth connectivity is unreliable. Modern hybrid and electric vehicles now boast far superior range, efficiency, and comfort, making the Gen 3 Prius look like an outdated compromise rather than a smart choice. Beyond technology, the driving experience has also not aged well. The Prius was never known for thrilling performance, but by today's standards, it feels downright sluggish. Acceleration is lethargic, and the engine drones loudly when pushed. It was once the poster child of going green. Now it is just the poster child of going broke. When a hybrid disappoints, it is painful. But when a minivan fails, it is an even bigger headache. Toyota Sienna. Known for its spaciousness, practicality, and undeniable reliability, Toyota Sienna was once the ultimate family companion. It became the go-to minivan for families across the United States, offering ample room for passengers and cargo, while upholding Toyota's reputation for longevity. Under the hood, the Sienna featured a 3.3-liter V6 engine, delivering 230 horsepower and 240 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 5-speed automatic transmission, it offered smooth and predictable performance. The standard front-wheel drive setup was practical, but Toyota also provided an all-wheel drive option for those in areas prone to adverse weather. Inside, the cabin could seat up to 8 passengers depending on the configuration. Plush seating, generous legroom, and thoughtful storage made it ideal for long journeys and daily errands alike. Back in the mid-2000s, the Sienna also excelled in safety. It came equipped with anti-lock brakes, stability control, and optional side curtain airbags for all 3 rows, making it one of the safest minivans on the market. Families appreciated the peace of mind it offered, confident that Toyota's build quality and safety features were top-notch. Fast forward to 2025, and the once beloved Sienna now feels like a relic of the past. The spacious interior that once felt welcoming now resembles a worn-out living room on wheels. The power sliding doors, once smooth and reliable, have become problematic, sometimes sticking or refusing to open altogether. Seats that were once plush now sag and show signs of heavy wear, with faded fabrics and cracked leather reflecting years of use. Performance has also taken a hit. The once capable V6 engine now feels sluggish, struggling to keep up with modern traffic. Fuel efficiency, which was passable 2 decades ago, now seems painfully low compared to today's hybrid and electric minivans. Maintenance has also become a significant issue. The automatic transmission, which once shifted smoothly, now shows signs of wear, including harsh shifts and occasional stuttering. Parts are increasingly difficult to source, with some owners turning to junkyards to keep their aging Siennas running. Even safety features that were once considered top tier now feel outdated, with modern systems offering far superior protection. Airbags that were once highly rated are now under recall, and the absence of advanced safety tech like lane keeping assist and automatic emergency braking makes the Sienna feel risky to drive. From one outdated family hauler to a car that's stuck in the past, literally. Toyota Corolla. Renowned for its dependable performance, the Toyota Corolla became a go-to choice for practical car buyers. It wasn't flashy or particularly exciting, but it delivered what many valued most: low maintenance costs, decent fuel economy, and long-lasting durability, qualities that define the Toyota brand. For daily commuters, students, and small families, it was a sensible, affordable option that put reliability first. Under the hood, the Corolla housed a 1.8-liter four-cylinder engine that delivered 132 horsepower and 128 pound-feet of torque. This engine was mated to either a 5-speed manual transmission or a 4-speed automatic, both of which provided adequate, though uninspiring, performance. Fuel economy was respectable for the time, averaging around 28 miles per gallon in the city and 35 on the highway. Inside, the Corolla offered seating for 5, with decent legroom for a compact sedan and a no-frills but functional dashboard. In 2012, the Corolla's simple and reliable nature made it one of the best-selling cars globally. It was known for starting on cold mornings, requiring minimal upkeep, and running efficiently year after year. Its affordable price tag made it accessible to a wide range of buyers, and Toyota's reputation for quality kept residual values stable for years. The Corolla was essentially a practical workhorse, a car that did the job without complaint or excitement. But as the years passed, the Corolla's charm began to fade. By 2025, it has become a symbol of mediocrity. What was once seen as functional now seems painfully outdated. The 4-speed automatic transmission feels sluggish compared to modern, continuously variable transmissions, and the engine struggles to provide adequate power in an era dominated by turbocharged and hybrid options. The once dependable fuel efficiency now seems unimpressive, especially when compared to newer models offering well over 40 miles per gallon. The interior, which was never particularly luxurious, now feels outright uncomfortable. The materials have not aged gracefully, with plastic panels creaking under pressure and seats that have long since lost their padding. The outdated infotainment system is borderline unusable, with a tiny screen and limited connectivity options. Bluetooth, which was a selling point back then, now feels like an inconvenience compared to today's seamless wireless integration. The speakers crackle with age, and the analog dials feel like a throwback to a much older generation. And last but not least, Toyota Avalon. The 1998 Toyota Avalon was Toyota's bold attempt to blend luxury with affordability. Positioned as a higher-end alternative to the reliable Camry, it aimed to attract buyers who wanted more comfort without overspending. Marketed as a sophisticated yet practical sedan, the Avalon became popular for families and professionals seeking a refined driving experience while maintaining Toyota's legendary reliability. Back in the late 1990s, it stood out for its spacious cabin, soft leather seats, and smooth, quiet ride, offering a sense of prestige without sacrificing practicality. Under the hood, the Avalon featured a 3-liter V6 engine, delivering 200 horsepower and 214 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a 4-speed automatic transmission, it provided smooth acceleration and a quiet highway demeanor, making long drives comfortable. Inside, the cabin boasted wide, plush seats with ample legroom for both front and rear passengers. Wood grain trim and soft touch materials aim to elevate its premium feel compared to the more utilitarian Camry. One of the Avalon's most praised attributes was its ride comfort. Toyota equipped it with a fully independent suspension system designed to glide over road imperfection, creating a floating sensation. This focus on comfort appealed to older drivers and families alike, making daily commutes feel hassle-free. Sound-deadening materials throughout the cabin minimized road noise, reinforcing its image as a near-luxury sedan within a more accessible price range. However, in 2025, the Avalon's appeal has faded drastically. What was once a smooth, cushioned ride now feels spongy and unresponsive compared to modern sedans with adaptive suspensions. The V6 engine, once adequate, now struggles to deliver power, and the outdated 4-speed automatic transmission seems sluggish, especially next to today's more efficient gearboxes. Fuel efficiency, once acceptable at around 20 miles per gallon, now feels inefficient compared to modern sedans that achieve significantly higher mileage with more powerful engines. In an era dominated by hybrids and electric vehicles, the Avalon's fuel consumption feels outdated and impractical, especially as gas prices continue to fluctuate. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. Did any of these Toyota models surprise you? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the car models that just didn't make the cut. See you in the next one.